Welcome to Success Connect at Sapphire Now Converge. I am Allie Love. I am the founder and CEO of Love Squad. I'm a Peloton instructor. I'm the in-arena host for the Brooklyn Nets and Adidas Global Ambassador, not to mention, which I'm really thrilled about, I'm your host for the Human Resource Sapphire channel. Now, this is a first for SAP, moving one of the biggest tech conferences online and working to ensure you all have an experience that will inspire, that will educate, and that will engage. For HR professionals, I know that it's been particularly challenging. You all have had to ensure your employees are prepared to respond to the changing needs of your customers while also making sure that they are safe and connected and confident in your leadership. It's a lot, but if there's one thing I do know, I know that you're up for it. So we are going to focus on how we can all take charge of change in this new normal of a world. And with that, I ask you one question. Are you ready? Yes or yes? All right, let's go ahead and get started.
Let's face it, things will continue to change. It's not easy to find a way through the challenges that life and work are throwing your way. Every business needs a workforce that is ready to respond, and that means HR needs to be ready too. So employees feel protected and supported, so that each person has what they need to be productive and continue to grow. We will find the opportunity in all of the uncertainty. Together, we can take charge of change. This is Human Experience Management.
Now, I am so happy to introduce the president of SAP SuccessFactors. She's joining me from her home in Texas. Say hello to a real boss, Jill Popelka. All right, so Jill, how are you doing?
I'm doing great, Ellie. How are you?
I'm doing well. I'm excited to be here. I know there's a lot in store, and I'm excited to really kind of go through this conversation with you. What I learned is that in terms of change, we are all in this moment of change. You actually started in changing and navigating your career. You started as this role of president of SAP SuccessFactors just a few weeks before COVID began to really impact us. How has it been?
So the first thing that we did at SuccessFactors, we really focused on communication. Communication was key for our employees and for our customers. And with our employees, we really wanted to make that a two-way dialogue. We wanted to ensure that our employees heard from us, but that we were also listening to them and understanding their sentiment so that we could support them through the pandemic. Secondly, with our customers, many of our customers just wanted to talk to each other. They really wanted to understand what are the ideas that other people have when it comes to HR taking care of their employees, and how do they anticipate those next steps? And what we learned from a lot of these CHRO discussions that we were having is that human connection is absolutely central to success, even when it's virtual, right? I think we've all learned that in many different ways over the past few weeks. And then secondly, we understand that HR is now central to business needs. I mean, it's absolutely vital that we take care of our employees. And last, but certainly not least, business continuity and employee health and safety is critical. And so we need to focus on all three of those things and get them right to survive this pandemic and have continued business success.
Jill, I love that you talk about this human connection. One of the things last year that you all launched with SuccessFactors were human experience management. That was a bold move and a bold statement in that you were taking people and putting them right at the center of business. How has that vision changed or navigated through the recent months with what's going on?
You know, it hasn't changed, Ali. I think HXM is more relevant than ever. I mean, it's all about putting the people at the very center so that we understand what they need. And as their needs evolve, we can stay in front of that. We can keep up with it. We can continue to provide what they need to stay inspired and productive in their everyday work.
Awesome. I love that. Now, I know we got to get to the program itself. I am really excited because I heard there's some really incredible customer service stories or customer stories coming up, and I want to hear some of those. But what can our audience expect in terms of the program?
Yeah, so it's really fun. We're going to tell them some stories, but we're not just going to tell them. We're also going to show them a way that they can truly raise their game when it comes to employee experience. I'm really excited about this because, as you know, HXM, not only extremely relevant right now, but it's also helping us put employees at the center even while we're virtual so that we can create great experience for them, and then those business results will follow.
Well, I'm excited to see. It's going to be great. Now, I will leave you because you are speaking to Swelo Kodisang, the Chief People Officer of Discovery. Now, Discovery is based in South Africa, and they are providing critical insurance needs while rewarding their customers with incentives to live healthier lives.
Our core purpose has never been more relevant and has guided our response to the relentless demands of the COVID-19 pandemic. Our staff is our biggest asset, and we moved quickly to keep our campuses and employees safe. Over 9,000 of us were set up to work from home, and despite being apart, we stayed connected, informed, and inspired. Together, we will not only survive this, but we will come out of it as better South Africans as well.
Hi, Swelo, and thanks again for joining us today.
Hi, Jill. It's good to be with you.
So tell me a little bit about South Africa. How are things going in Johannesburg?
So at this point in time, things are really tough, driven by COVID-19, but we've got a good plan, and the plan is working out quite nicely. But obviously we haven't peaked, so we're all working towards making sure that we flatten the curve.
Now at Discovery Health, Swelo, I know you guys are really at the epicenter with your business and health and well-being and insurance. Tell me how Discovery Health is handling this pandemic.
I must say I'm quite fortunate to actually be the CHRO of Discovery at this point in time. The business is handling it exceptionally well. As soon as we saw the breakout in China, we mobilized ourselves, got a COVID leadership team going, and we've got a multidisciplinary team that's actually leading it. So I would actually say as an organization, we are very much on top of it. And I'm actually quite excited because we're sharing the load with my colleagues on that one.
And what about moving toward the future? How are you seeing the plans come together for reopening around the world?
So what I've seen is, one bit is we've got a new reality. So what COVID has done is given us an opportunity to ensure that into the future, we don't see all our people being back at work 100%. I think we're going to sort of settle at about 50 to 70% of our people being in the office. The rest will work from home. So we are learning new capabilities to be able to work remotely. And I think for me, that is quite exciting, let's say in that regard, whilst making sure that our people stay healthy during this period and into the future.
Well, so that brings me to my next question, and it's really around reskilling. Have you had to reskill your workforce to be able to work virtually and to do the new jobs that are required?
I think there's two dimensions to the reskilling. We've had to help people work from home, as we've got 85% of our workforce now working from home. And in that part, we've had to repurpose hardware to, at a drop of a hat, move them to work from home. So that is not really about reskilling. The only part of reskilling linked to that would be making sure that people understand how to work virtually, how to operate using different type of software that we've actually brought to bear. What's been, I guess, more interesting is we've got about 500 employees that have not been productive. And the question is, what do we do with them? How do we, leverage them during this period? We've kind of said the focus for that group of people is going to be about reskilling. And in the reskilling piece, really focus on the jobs of the future, not the jobs that they've been currently doing. So in a way, I think it's extremely exciting because we also drive accountability against that reskilling program that we're going to be driving.
Well, and I know looking to the future also offers you an opportunity to really engage your employees. And you and I in the past have had a lot of conversations around employee experience and how Discovery Health is really addressing employee experience around the world. Talk to me about how you do the employee engagement and increasing employee experience during this environment.
So Jill, maybe I think the starting point would be one of the things that we've leveraged is our HCM in terms of Employee Essential. We've got all our employee data. We understand where the different employees are. We've leveraged it really to inform our program, to inform our plan. I guess the second one is leveraging SAP in terms of as a collaboration platform and a place where all knowledge would reside. Leveraging those two capabilities has really helped us to drive engagement across all our employees including as we've run webinars to stay connected. What I'll say to Jill is, I believe, honestly, we've never been more connected and engaged as employees than at this point in time. So one thing for certain is that in this crazy, moments, we haven't wasted the crisis by driving engagement of our employees to be much, much more engaged.
So Suelo, I've also heard you talk a little bit about Vitality, about your well-being program. Can you share a little bit more with us on that?
Yes, so, in the context of our purpose of making people healthier, enhancing and protecting their lives, Vitality, which is really about shared value, is at it's a core of our business model. And so one of the things that we've actually been doing, especially internally, is to encourage all our employees to participate in our Vitality program. We're enhancing the incentives to make sure that they're mentally healthy, they're physically healthy, emotionally healthy, and by the way, financially healthy. So I think we are living through exciting times. And for us, we feel as an organization, what the crisis has done, it does provide an opportunity to really make a difference to society. And we are seeing that difference be made.
Suelo, thank you so much for coming on with us today. Thank you for being a great partner. It's been so much fun being on this journey toward an incredible employee experience and really human experience management at Discovery Health. I really appreciate, again, your time today.
Thank you very much, Jill. I've really enjoyed the engagement and I look forward to continue our journey together.
Thank you, Jill and Suelo. It's great to hear from a company in South Africa responding to these times and reminding us just how small the world really is. And with that, I am thrilled to introduce Mary Kelly, an internationally known economist and leadership expert. Mary is here to answer your questions about the economic impact of recent disruptions and the role of leadership in getting us all through this. But before we begin, let's take a look at how some of the folks from SAP have been passing the time.
Hi, Mary. This is Jill from Wyndham Hotels and Resorts. Now, I wanted to ask you a question. What is your take on this recession versus the one in 2008, 2009? What should we expect?
So it's very different from 2008, 2009, which of course started because of a mortgage crisis in our country, and then it spread throughout the world. This is a very different environment economically, where travel has contributed to the spread of this disease. So traveling right now is part of the problem, which is why industries such as hotels and airlines are suffering a lot. Right now, we also have to worry about the fact that the government and the media has asked us all to stay home, which meant a stopping of our spending. Now, when we stop spending, the problem there is the ripple effect of the stopping of the spending. We're not going out to restaurants now because they're closed. So then those restaurant people don't have extra money, so they're not spending money, and so on and so on. So when we stop the spending cycle because we can't travel, because we can't see each other, which did not happen in 2008, 2009, all of a sudden, this cycle economically has created more of a problem. The likelihood of it ending, though, is promising, because once we do get this vaccine, the spending will increase. That's one thing we Americans are great at, and that is traveling and spending.
Thanks, Mary.
Thanks, Jill. I appreciate it so much, and your industry will come back, and I cannot wait to travel again.
Great.
Hi, Mary. It's Elaine from Continuum Global Solutions. I have a question for you. Where do you see industries having a quick recovery from this, and where do you see permanent disruption to business models? And as an HR leader, where do you think I should be focusing?
Elaine, thanks so much for that really important question. And I want to address the part about being an HR person first. Right now, as an HR professional, we know that we have more people than ever having to work from remote locations. Now, this is great on a couple levels. First off, it has allowed people to stay productive during this time of extreme disruption. It also allows us to tap into talent on a more widespread global level. Maybe before we were just looking in our geographic area. Well, now we can take advantage of talent that is everywhere, and this is fantastic. But also as an HR professional, we have to make sure that our leaders and supervisors are assessing those remote workers based on the results they're providing. You know, before, if somebody went into the workplace and they were cheerful and happy and charismatic, we kind of gave them higher marks because we liked them. Remote working is a great equalizer, and that's something that we as HR people have to help our leaders through. And then the second part of the question, which was the first part, is where are the economic impacts? What's disrupted and what's not? So this is going to be wildly disruptive, of course, to the travel, tourism, restaurant industry, any industry that relies on people coming together. Now, those industries that have done fairly well up until this point and through this crisis will continue to do well. They have not seen a huge decline, and that's things like landscaping, construction, home improvement stores. People decided, you know what, I need a new washing machine. I need a new dryer. I'm spending more time in my house, so I'm going to reconfigure some things to make it easier again for people to work at home. People have configured their home offices in a way that makes it easier to work from home. So as HR people moving forward, we've got to look at whether or not these workspaces are going to continue as home offices, what we need to supply to them in home offices, and how we can best support our leaders and managers working through this.
Thanks, Mary.
Hi, Mary. It's nice to chat with you today. The question I have for you is, what economic shifts do you think we're going to see that'll impact businesses and the way we work globally?
Geetha, that's such a great question because we've gone very globalized, as you know. And now all of a sudden, we're going to see industries and businesses focus a little bit more on locally sourced and locally produced things as they attempt to decrease contact points, increase safety, and make sure that we are getting things in a more controlled environment. So in terms of how we move forward business-wise, we will see probably for the next year, less business travel. We're going to see fewer headquarters structures that right now, big buildings, big structures, big office spaces are going to probably give way to people working at home more. Now, this is going to bring with it more IT challenges and more cybersecurity challenges as HR people have to figure out how do we make our people's systems at home more secure. This may mean lower budgets for certain office spaces and buildings, and it might mean some less nice to haves, that some of those things that we kind of expected when we traveled are going to go away. Now, in the long run, we also have to remember that on a global economic level, everything is a variable. Everything is on the table for change. Now is a wonderful opportunity. And again, this is a terrible thing to think about as a disease being an opportunity, but we as forward-thinking global businesses have to realize that every detail of all of our businesses is now on the table as a variable. We've got to be able to help our people adapt to the new reality, realign our business in a way that really serves our customers and our clients. And we have to rethink what's normal for our businesses as we change to being a more sanitized but a safer way of working as we bring people back into the workforce.
Thank you. That was a really good answer. I appreciate all the insights.
Hi, Mary. I'm Rajama from Microsoft. I would love to understand what you think about how HR decisions can help mitigate this human crisis, as well as maybe create or open up some opportunities.
Thank you so much for asking that, because right now in any crisis, as we know, it is an opportunity, and it brings with it kind of a forced acceleration of re-examining things that we were doing in the past. I call this the 5 buckets of innovation. And as an economist, we see this manifest itself in 5 major ways. So first, of course, is our people. And as HR leaders, this is what we're mostly concerned about. And that's attracting, recruiting, retaining, mentoring, managing, evolving our thinking and our leadership, and developing our current and future leaders. We're going to be more focused on talent and results-driven employees moving into the future. Another part of these buckets is our technology piece. And what does that look like as technology? What do people need moving forward? What can we create develop, adapt, or use. And this is, of course, where you come right in. We're relying on you folks to come up with even more tools we can use in order to advance. One of the third buckets of opportunity is our process on what we're doing in terms of procedures. Maybe our requirements are changing. Maybe our regulations are changing. And how are we moving forward to change our workspaces to adapt to those changing needs and requirements? We're also looking at training as an opportunity. Now is a great time to take a leap forward in terms of what we're doing for training. If we're doing at-home training more and more, it's got to be innovative, informative, helpful, relevant, and it's got to be in bite-sized chunks like what we're doing now, so that people can use that training right now and make it wildly relevant. And this is where areas are very opportunistic for our HR leaders, because they're the ones who drive that kind of training. So then moving forward, if we choose to look at this as an opportunity, both with people development, with their training, and with our processes and our technology, this can be a great way for us to rethink our business in a clever, smart way that will take us into the future.
Well, thank you, Mary. You gave me some things to think about in my job today. Thank you.
Sobeys is one of only 2 national grocery chains in Canada. As competition increases, employee and wage costs increase, we really need an integrated, harmonized employee system that allows us to fully automate and self-serve to the greatest extent possible.
SAP Preferred Success provided a really great recommendation on how we can improve what we're delivering to our employees.
We believe that where we're moving will really help us deliver on our business outcomes in the coming years.
We're a world leader in high-tech manufacturing of glass and ceramic-based products. We produce products that make a difference in everybody's lives. We have to have the best systems to not only attract great workers, but retain them and help them to grow and have a very worthwhile career. The SuccessFactors services team has been outstanding. Everybody they brought has incredible skills and experience. It reduced the time it takes us to deploy new capabilities, which saves us money, and we get the best possible solution.
Wow, thank you to Mary for those insights. And remember, at any point in your HXM journey, experts from SAP services and support are here to partner with you to simplify, adopt, and optimize your HR solutions to achieve outcomes quickly and efficiently. Now to speak to our partner, EY, SAP SuccessFactors Chief Revenue Officer, Stephen Spears.
Now we'll hear from EY's Penny Stoker and Fayaz Rusht as they discuss EY's own HR transformation journey.
Hello, and welcome to this fantastic segment with our partner, EY. I'm Stephen Spears, the Chief Revenue Officer for SuccessFactors, and I'd like to welcome Fayaz Rusht and Penny Stoker. Thank you for joining me today. Can you tell everyone a little bit about why Project SYMPHONY was first started?
Yeah, Stephen, I'll start with that. And thanks so much for having us. As you know, about 4 years ago, we started on this journey by taking a look at our business and the environment we were in. We could look forward and see some significant changes in our demographics, globalization, macroeconomic trends. And we knew we needed to undergo a digital transformation for our talent organization that involved better tools, better processes, and a different organization model. Thus spun Project SYMPHONY. We chose SuccessFactors as our digital tool to work with us in a more globally consistent and integrated way and a much better employee experience. And we chose to work with our consulting arm to help do it to ourselves, if you will. While rare, we've had some really good experience with that, and that experience and learnings now we can bring to our clients from the project itself. And then finally, we've started now working more closely with Qualtrics in really developing our people experience platform so we can see how our employee experience better impacts our client experience.
Amazing. So Fayaz, I'm going to ask you, I know what an incredible implementation partner EY is in the field, but many people don't realize you're one of our largest SuccessFactors customers. Can you tell us a little bit about the scope of Project SYMPHONY?
Thank you, Stephen. Happy to share that. So as Penny mentioned, we are implementing SuccessFactors for 300,000 of our employees. But in addition to that, we are also including approximately 20,000 contingent workers across 154 countries. We have already gone live with onboarding, talent development or performance management, as well as learning and JAM. This November, we are looking forward to going live with Employee Central or Core HR. And beyond that, we have started to work on deploying recruiting and recruiting marketing in the summer of next year. And beyond that, in the roadmap, we also have compensation planning, as well as succession and time off for a few countries in mind.
Wow, what an incredible scope. Sounds like you're pretty busy. So let me ask both of you, what benefits have we already started seeing from this project? Penny?
Yeah, sure. As you know, we built a robust business case around this transformation. We've already seen benefits like our lower cost of ownership as we've integrated into one tool. We see better efficiency in our talent organization as we move activities into our shared service centers, as well as the better and easier use in the back end of SuccessFactors. And then finally, our approach to self-service and our ability for our people to do anything, anywhere that they need to, either through the mobile app or through their desktop, has enabled our people to be more efficient at the tasks they need to complete.
The only thing that I would add to that is that, we're also reimagining how our talent teams will support the business going forward. So that's also a part of this project.
Excellent. Well, Fayaz, Penny, thank you very much for joining me on this segment today. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us as well out there in the audience. Have a great day, everyone.
Thanks,
Stephen.
You too.
SAP SuccessFactors is helping us deliver a better experience for our collaborators, and at the end that will be reflected in our clients. With the learning management system, we are now using SuccessFactors in an innovative way. We are enabling our promoters, our field collaborators, to download their training and watch it on their mobile devices.
With SAP, we are improving the employee experience. They have a voice in how our business is run. That makes them happier at work, more engaged, and motivates them to provide exceptional customer experiences.
That really is the magic of SuccessFactors. If you look at the life cycle of an employee, when the manager first identifies a need, so right from the recruitment through the onboarding into the LMS, which provides the training, to the performance and assessing where the employee is, which leads into the talent review and your succession planning, right till the employee's last day when he retires from the organization and leaves, everything in between, that's what SuccessFactors allows you to do.
Now we get to the really good stuff, the technology, and the people who actually create SAP's SuccessFactors solution. Here with a Weekender Wednesday update is Meg Baer and Amy Wilson.
Good morning, good evening, and afternoon. I'm Meg Baer.
And I'm Amy Wilson. This year is all about taking charge of change and how HR leaders are leading the way for organizations to thrive in disruption.
Do you want to take charge of change? Yes or yes?
Yes.
Amy, I read recently that over 80% of the world's workforce has been affected by the pandemic, something like 2.7 billion people. And less than a year ago, we were riding the wave of the in-person experience economy.
Yep, it's certainly putting a lot of pressure on technology to deliver and organizations to adapt. Like how Microsoft Teams gave me a professional background to mask that I'm actually working from wherever my family isn't.
I completely agree. There are so many stories of innovation and resilience emerging. Our customers are taking charge of change in real time. How about we share some good news?
You bet. Let's start with Scotiabank. Like many organizations facing the corona crisis, large numbers of their employees had no work, while other areas had surging needs. They repurpose their recruiting talent to identify and match internal workers with emerging business needs.
Providence St. Joseph Health leveraged performance to inventory the skills of 119,000 caregivers. They were then able to use that data to quickly staff up in peak areas, matching open roles to available workers.
And then there's Hydro One. They leveraged extensibility tools. In just 2 days, they were able to launch a tracker so that over 700 leaders could report on exposure risk and location status of their direct reports.
Even our very own HR department leveraged Qualtrics pulse surveys to check in on us. Onboarding processes were reworked overnight to create memorable moments that matter, helping us feel connected and supported during this difficult time.
Well, one thing's for sure, by focusing on employees' well-being, culture, opportunities, organizations can better adapt to change.
This goes even beyond work. So many things play into employee well-being. My productivity requires brain breaks. I need those feel-good rides with Allie to break up the string of video meetings. Which reminds me, I need to register for the next class.
Oh, how cool to see our SAP SuccessFactors digital assistant hard at work. Which reminds me as well, I told myself last year that I would take a long weekend after Success Connect.
Such a good idea. Using technology to not only simplify my work, but also understand my feelings and needs really makes work better. An example of putting this into practice is the new Focus Fridays that we launched in response to our remote work pulse survey. Having a day meeting-free has been a breath of fresh air. I've been able to think more deeply about our strategy and get things done as well. Speaking of strategy, Amy, our 2020 plan was all about increasing velocity of our innovation engine. Should we show everyone what we've been up to?
You bet. Following last year's Human Experience Management announcement, we reimagined the homepage in partnership with our customer design advisors. The result is not only beautiful, but more efficient and completely individualized. The first thing you'll notice are colorful, quick actions appearing based on usage. Next, you'll see dynamic engagement cards prioritized based on importance and urgency. Goals might be overdue or approvals pending, with a handy save for later option. We're currently running a beta program in which customers are providing hands-on feedback.
I'm so excited to see this vision come to life in such a short time. Exciting to see our mobile-first approach for our reimagined experiences. Everything delivered native in iOS and Android, as well as responsive web.
And you know what, Ned? What is also really exciting? Our digital assistant is woven directly into our homepage experience as well. It is like your very own personal concierge, answering your questions, doing your tasks, and getting you to where you'd like to be. Many of you are on tight budgets right now, so giving out spot awards to appreciate hard work may not be possible, but a thank you award is free and can have the same effect to brighten someone's day.
Helping our customers build a culture of gratitude is something I'm really excited about. Not only does receiving thanks feel good, but sending it does as well.
And Meg, another marvelous innovation we are bringing to market is a new product, SAP WorkZone for HR, a digital workplace solution that offers a unified employee experience, including collaboration and dynamic workflows, not just for SuccessFactors or SAP products, but any product used by your employees.
One of the biggest barriers to an outstanding employee experience is that not everyone speaks HR, and not all technology employees used is delivered by HR. Can you give us an example of how to use this exciting new product?
Sure. Let's take parental leave as an example. Let's say I'm a new parent. Now, naturally, I have loads of questions to start with. I'd want to be guided step by step to get my benefits and leave in place, and perhaps connect with other parents to learn the ropes and find the best wellness programs. This is a joyful and, let's be honest, somewhat stressful experience, and WorkZone would make it kind of fun. Additionally, HR can keep upping the joy factor because the workflows are not frozen in time. You can build in Qualtrics feedback and continuously improve the experience.
That's pretty important because I think you and I know that a lot has changed from when we had to leave. Expectations are changing every single day, and it's nice to have tools to help us react to that.
SAP WorkZone is just one way we're bringing the power of SAP's Intelligent Enterprise to deliver on outstanding human experiences, HXM. By building adaptability into our HR service delivery, we can be ready for any business event with an individualized experience for our workforce.
Like Scotiabank and St. Joseph's Health, one thing top of mind for our customers is redeploying talent to shifting business needs, including upskilling and reskilling. Are we doing anything with our platform to make this easier?
Yes, we are. As you know, a key piece to this puzzle is data. Understanding your talent in a way that you can anticipate shifts and take action accordingly. This is where our investment in people analytics comes in. Let me show you what I mean. To understand your options, you need to think in terms of resource, supply, and demand. Using people analytics, you can see all the people who are impacted, what skills they have, what regions they work from, and then next, you can look at emerging jobs that have similar needs. What's exciting though, Meg, is as a part of HXM, we are planning to extend this data model in 2021 to not only job skills, but a broader view of a person's capabilities, your work experience, your working style, your unique strengths, along with the ability to create and discover stretch opportunities and agile teams based on give and get capabilities.
Oh, you mean you post an opportunity where I need to give my gift, let's say leading change, but you let me know that I'm going to emerge with a new skill, Agile Scrum Team, and I can use that experience to help get me to my next big opportunity.
Yes, you totally got it. That's what giving and getting is all about.
Exciting. This is the holy grail of our industry, Amy, using data to align mastery, autonomy, and purpose towards the needs of the business. Seriously, Amy, how long have you and I been talking about this?
I don't want to think about it, Meg. Let me just round down and say years?
Well, we did start this in elementary school, as you know, but it's finally happening. As HR leaders, you're truly the drivers of change in your organization, bringing together your passion for helping people with technology to operationalize change. You now have the seat at the table and the tools you need to deliver results against even the most unpredictable circumstances.
Well said, Meg. Well, that's all we have for today, folks. Thanks for tuning in on our latest product update.
Oh, perfect timing. That must be my new cycling crop tops being delivered. Thanks, everyone.
From work and life to everything in between, change happens whether we're ready for it or not. But intimidating as that can feel, change itself isn't the problem. How we respond to it is. With the right solutions, we can do more than adapt to change. We can influence and accelerate it. And the best HR leaders know this. With the right insights and guidance, they can make better decisions. Ones that impact business and the workforce and elevate employee experiences by creating the kind of cultures that not only motivate, but unite. It's time we see change differently, as a driving force, capable of propelling people and their work to new heights. Because the best run businesses run on human experience. This is Human Experience Management.
I love it. You deserve a feel-good ride after that. Next, I'm pleased to introduce Paul Khanna, a partner with Deloitte Consultant and SAP's Carly Quinn, to share how Deloitte and their customer Lanxess are taking charge of change.
Lanxess is a globally active chemical company. With our close to 16,000 employees, we are producing chemicals globally, and those chemicals relate to really all types of different areas like intermediates, polymers, and additives.
Lanxess has a very complex requirements. Running a project with a global scale is something that requires a partner that is able to support you globally. That is what we did. We really worked intensively with our offshore skills and capabilities and resources in India.
We needed to make sure that the solution really needed to be able to evolve, just as Lanxess was evolving. They're into new products that they weren't in 12 years ago.
Deloitte proved to be working with us on the same goal. They didn't just serve as a contract partner. It looked like really we want to achieve the same target.
We involved experts from the US, from Germany, and from India. We brought in the expertise, and Lanxess staff brought in the experience with their needs and their internal processes, and together we made it the best fitting solution for Lanxess.
It was always driven by the will to learn from each other. And it was always driven by the will to solve the issues, to solve the challenges.
With this project, we implemented the SuccessFactors modules Employee Central, Recruiting and Onboarding in 25 countries, covering 10 languages. It gives a lot of transparency for employees to their own data and for managers to data of their employees. We have flawless integration of data between the modules. We reduced paper, we implemented automated workflows, so in the end we achieve a good user experience.
So I love the relationship you can see between Deloitte and Lanxess in that shot, and you can clearly see that the video was taken before our current global health and economic crisis that has hit. So Paul, based off of the observations, with Lanxess, how are they feeling now?
Lanxess is in the chemical compound business. That means their products are literally everywhere. They stand up businesses faster than my kids put up a TikTok video. So when I asked them how they are doing, and specifically if there was anything we could have prepared Lanxess for the better, they said this: thank goodness we did the HR transformation when we did, not because of timing, but because of what we addressed as part of the program. We eliminated anything that wasn't necessarily manual or just didn't add any value. And that was tough for them. But the goal was to enable a more kinetic organization, something that could move with speed. So with people now spread out, the processes needed to be very efficient, eliminating any paper, any redundancy, and just to enable the workforce to be much more adaptable. So getting information on their employees, where they were, what jobs they were doing, would have been so difficult without having the transparency they needed. If we did not move to a digital platform, their businesses would have been disrupted even further. Manual spreadsheets, compensation changes, information to the right people would have just added to the anxiety, as you can imagine. They did say, Carly, that in retrospect, if they had spent more time in one area where the technology could have done more, it would have been around employee experience. They recognize how vital that a positive and easy employee experience is crucial, and it's an area they want to focus more on and improve as part of their next steps.
That's a really amazing story. So if we had to leave our audience with one thing to think about, what would that be?
Purpose. I would say the one word is related to purpose in the workplace that is now taking priority.
It absolutely is. So Paul, thank you so much for your time with us today. Great to see you.
Mercado Libre is the largest online commerce and payment ecosystem in Latin America. With a team of more than 11,000 employees in 18 countries, we know that they've been very busy these days, even with having to stay home. Let's hear from their Chief People Officer, Sebastian Fernandez Silva.
Since the beginning of this crisis, our top 3 priorities as a human capital team have been taking care of our employees' physical and emotional health, ensuring the continuity of our operations, and empowering leaders. In our HR strategy, leaders are the day-to-day HR managers of their teams. In order to take care of our employees' health, we migrated 92% of the teams to work remotely. This represented a great challenge that we managed to solve in 24 hours, and now we have more than 10,000 employees working full-time from home. To find out how employees are doing in the COVID-19 context, we ran a frequent pulse survey to measure the team's mood, productivity and organization, as well as their leader effectiveness. It also helps us to understand how are they perceiving the different actions that we've implemented so far to make the necessary calibrations for their impact. We are using Qualtrics to manage these policies and respond quickly to the emerging needs, having real-time information on all topics related to the leaders and their teams. Clear and constant communication in this context becomes more essential than ever to stay connected, conveying calm, and inspired with purpose. In this point, once again, technology becomes key. Maintaining fluent communication with the teams, despite not working together on site, is essential to ensure excellence in execution as well as to enhance the engagement level. We have been growing exponentially since we started our operations 20 years ago from a garage. But the COVID context has accelerated the growth and penetration of e-commerce in the region dramatically, increasing our headcount as a consequence. Onboarding new hires in this context is a bigger challenge. Ensuring a great experience for the new joiners during remote work is paramount. Given that all our HCM processes are managed through SuccessFactors, we have been able to maintain the volume and quality of hirings. Technology makes this easier and allows us to add talent by managing our recruiting and onboarding processes in a digital format, while offering a great candidate experience. SuccessFactors is at the center of this architecture, integrated with complementary apps to enable the execution on the scale that we need today and in the future. Not only are the transformations happening in the consumer field, but also there are changes in the dynamic of work that will remain after the crisis. Knowing how the teams feel, how effective they are, as many other critical interactions cannot be assessed just once or twice a year. We need to collect data and get insights continuously. This is the reason why we added Qualtrics to our platform solution and being able to scale this way of managing talent to the entire organization. Our culture, together with the technological solutions, have been the enablers to respond with speed and agility to the emerging challenges from this context.
All right, y'all, so we are gonna kick it back to Jill Popelka. She's gonna take it away for the conclusion.
Thanks to all of you for joining us. We've really had a great Success Connect day. It wasn't the one we envisioned. It's not the one that we planned for, but it was certainly memorable. And I think that's what you can say about most of 2020 so far. We know that you're all driving toward incredible employee experiences, even in light of the current circumstances. And we're here with you. If you want to explore more about SAP's HXM solutions, we have an HR channel, and we'd love for you to dive into that and learn more about our solutions and what we can do to go on this journey with you toward an incredible employee experience. Now, in saying goodbye, we'd like to share with you a special musical performance by our very own Steven Spears. Steven, over to you.